So I'm going to go ahead and call this next work session to order, a confirmation hearing for Miss Anna Henderson. Let's go ahead and do introductions, starting with Mr. Peterson.
Pete Peterson.
Thanks, Alta.
Forrest Dunbar.
Austin Davidson.
John Weddleton.
Felix Rivera.
Crystal Kennedy.
And Anna.
And we also are joined by Mr. Constant.
Here.
All right. All right, so I will go ahead and turn it over to Ms. Henderson to introduce herself.
Thank you. I am Anna Henderson. I've been selected by the mayor to replace Mr. Johnston as General Manager of Municipal Light and Power, obviously pending your confirmation. I have been with Municipal Light and Power over 10 years, various capacities. My most recent position was the Executive Manager over the Regulatory Affairs Division. That provided me with a lot of exposure to different areas of the utility, so it was a natural, in my opinion, transition into the General Manager position. So with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys have.
All right, thank you for the introduction. So I think we all have Ms. Henderson's resume here. Do we have any?
You need to let Suzanne know we were back.
Oh, yeah, I'll text her.
Sorry.
Thank you.
She should know. I mean, it's 12:30.
Sure. So what's up?
So welcome.
Thank you.
We got 2 points. One, it may be a short time in for you, at least with MLP. But, I've had a concern when we see, we're still operating MLP, money's still being spent. We still need to fix stuff. But there's been things we've done, bought some equipment that's on a 5 to 10 year schedule of replacement or something like that. And I'm going, does Chugach Electric need that truck? Maybe you won't need it. We're buying this stuff now. And what I'm being told have been told is, oh, we're coordinating with Chugach Electric. We're not buying anything unless they want it. I've also heard that not so much. I mean, what's your agree with me?
And I would like to say that I have a blanket position for every situation, but I don't. It really is on a case-by-case basis. But in general, we need to continue to run the utility until the acquisition closes, because we don't know when that's going to happen or how long that's going to happen. And if we defer a bunch of maintenance and or capital replacements, then we could potentially be in a position where we're forced to do that all at one time, which wouldn't be a good situation for planning and the finances of MLP. So in general, we need to operate status quo. However, every situation that comes up, we're looking at it on a case-by-case basis, and there have been some things that we're not moving forward with because of the acquisition pending. So.
Are you meeting regularly with Chugach Electric people on these things when you do capital purchase?
We are, after the purchase and sale agreement was signed and even before it was filed with the commission, we kicked off the integration functions between the two utilities. So it's been probably 2 months now, and it's full bore integration planning. Some folks are spending, honestly, all of their 40-hour work week over there currently with Chugach. There's a goal to develop a work plan for day one when the acquisition closes. So it is ramping up, and I don't anticipate that it's going to slow down between now and the acquisition. So there is a lot of collaboration, but there's been counsel from our lawyers about doing too much too soon with respect to antitrust issues. So it's a delicate balance, and again, we just address the issues if we can, and try to collaborate with Chugach on things that we're allowed to collaborate with them on.
Good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Whittleton. So I have Mr. Dunbar, then Mr. Constant.
So one of the factors when we authorized the sale of MLP was that we were going to retain ownership stake in the Inclusion facility. And I'm sort of curious if there are any other things like that we will end up retaining after the sale is complete. And if so, are you going to be staying on to sort of manage those kind of assets, or is that just going to be a sort of paper corporate entity and your job will be completed? So imagine we close the sale. How long are you going to stay around, and what will you be managing after the sale closes?
Well, and I'm open to consider anything, but at this point, it's my understanding that the general manager position is one that could possibly be subsumed into Chugach, and they have a requirement, I believe, to at least offer a job to the general manager of municipal light and power. But I'm open to discussions with the mayor's office on what ML&P looks like post-acquisition and how much management is needed to, like you said, manage the assets that the Muni is retaining. But as far as I know, the major one is just the equipment power plant.
Thank you.
And then I think Mr. Austin.
Through the chair to Mr. Dunbar, Anna would be offered a job at Chugach, and should she want to take it, she could move over there. But the idea is that any remaining entities, the Eklutna property, and anything else that may exist for some period of time will have management within the municipality, not necessarily under a GM, but as an asset that the municipality owns, like all the rest of them. So I think that's part of our process to work through as we get through the RCA.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Dunbar. Mr. Constant.
Interesting. I was actually going to ask the same question once your plan and the transaction closes, and I believe that was the term that you would be offered a position over there. My understanding of the Eklutna plant, though, through the transaction, is it will be operated by Chugach under an operating agreement, so we won't actually hold those assets except in title until such a time if we needed to recall claim to the title and the operation. And so I understand it to be that we won't be operating, we won't have a skeleton crew at Eklutna. That will just be Chugach. That's their deal.
And that is the current agreement.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Constant. Any further questions? Mr. Peterson.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I was looking at your professional experience, and I noticed that for about 5 years you worked at Chugach Electric in accounting. Do you think that gives you any kind of an advantage in helping this merger or this buyout take place?
Yes, but honestly, after the 5 years of experience that I had, which was in the 2001 to 2005 time frame, the nature of my work in the regulatory field, I work with all of the utilities on a very regular basis. So yes, it has my experience working with Chugach. I'm familiar with a lot of the regulatory issues that they're facing, and have already established relationships with their management and employees. So I think that will help in the transition.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. All right. I don't see any further questions. Well, then we'll look forward to the vote on Tuesday, and welcome. I guess welcome back.
Thank you.
All right. So that is closed.